Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we are going to plant an Amaryllis bulb. I've done these before, but it's a new year. Some of you have been asking to see my Amaryllis collection. They are in bags in storage over here, so in time we'll look at them. We grew them in the garden. Things just happened so quickly that I didn't have a chance to make videos of the process. So next year we'll look at them, we'll open them up and see how they're all growing. But right now they're just all dormant. I did it a little bit late, so nothing is at the moment trying to set up buds, so they're staying where they are. There's so many, there's like 15 or 16 varieties, and now I just added another one. What am I doing? So anyway, Picotee is one that I've been looking for the last little while. It's a very common one, but when you're trying to find them on sale, it's harder to find them. These seem to go very, very quickly because they have a beautiful green, white, and with that red margin. That red margin really is beautiful. So anyway, I thought we'd plant these together. What I have is I think this is a 5 or a 6 inch pot. It's more of a shallow pot. Normally with Amaryllis I like to go a little bit bigger, but just for the sole purpose of having it bloom in a decorative pot, why not use a smaller pot? It's going to flower before it really produces a lot of roots, and it won't have any leaves. Well, it will right after it blooms, but you'll have time to transplant it into a slightly larger pot. You really want to give them space for the roots to develop if you want to grow them for next year. You want to give them enough space where they can take up nutrients and really look after themselves and feed their bulb so that you can have a nice bloom next year as well. But if all you want to do is toss them out afterwards, heaven forbid, don't worry about the pot size. As long as it's about 1 inch around the pot. Let me just open this up. It'll make sense when I show you. Okay. Alright. So when you look at the pot and you look at the bulb, you want 1 inch of space all the way around the pot, or around the bulb. Between the pot and the bulb, my God, I'll get it eventually, for adequate growth of your bulb. But again, if you want to have it grow and thrive and whatever else, then you want to have a slightly bigger pot. But for blooming, don't worry about it. You can even have it in a vase. So anyway, this bulb is still totally dormant. It will take a little bit of time before it starts producing a flower spike. I'm a little bit late to plant this. It is the middle of November, and it should have already been planted if I want it to bloom for Christmas. But they could take between 6 and 8 weeks to produce a flower from this stage. So if everything is timed right, I still might get a flower for Christmas. Anyway, enough about talking. Let's see what we have. We've got the pot. I have a cute little decorative pot that I'm going to be placing things in, and it has a plastic liner so it doesn't leak all over the furniture. I've got some pre-moistened soil. When I plant Amaryllis, I like to use pre-moistened soil because you don't want to water too much while they're still in a dormant state. Even while they're producing a flower spike, you don't want to water a lot because it's not producing the root system as yet to uptake all the water, and it's just sitting in moist conditions, and that can cause rot. So to avoid any situations, I want to just use pre-moistened soil. When the mix becomes dry, I will water again, but I want to make sure that it's allowed to dry out pretty well completely until the Amaryllis itself is actively growing. By actively growing, I mean leafy growth. That way you know that there is root development, and then once the roots are really starting to develop and the plants are actively growing, these things take up quite a bit of water. So it's hard to overwater them when they're actively growing. So anyway, let's move the camera down. Oh, and I also brought out some slow-release fertilizer. This is just a Magic Grow. It's a President's Choice brand for all of you that live in Canada. This is a hanging basket mix. I just had it, and I like slow release. Mix it right in with the soil. That way, over time, the bulb will get some nourishment if I am not feeding it with some other types of fertilizer. So that is a key if you want to have it grow out after the holiday season and just be leafy growth. You want to feed your plant. So anyway, let's get down here and plant. Okay, so here we are. You're at a better angle. And let's first do what I always do. I like to put a little bit of paper towel in the bottom of my pots just to cover the drainage holes. You can use a coffee filter. You don't need to use anything. I just like it to stop the soil from running out the bottom. So, and then we've got our bulb, as you can see. And we've got our pre-moistened soil. I'm just going to mix some of the slow-release fertilizer. Not measuring it. Just a few shakes, as you can see, and just mix it in there. The good thing about slow release is it releases over time. I'm not going to put the whole darn bottle in, but you could be a little bit generous with it. And there are directions on it as well. I tend not to read those. But yeah, if it releases fertilizer over time, so you're probably not going to burn your plant unless you put the whole bottle in for sure. So let's throw this soil in the pot. Alright, so I've got it about maybe 1.5 inches from the top of the pot. I'm going to take the Amaryllis bulb. These roots are all kind of dead. I can trim those off. You don't want any rot to occur. Most times when you buy these, the roots are all gone anyway. If they're good, viable roots, you'll know that by the color and the texture of them. They will be more strap-like. I believe that they're white or green, but these were brown and crispy and yucky, so those were dead. So we've removed all those. We're just going to place this on top of the surface of the soil. I wish I had a little spoon. With Amaryllis, you want to cover about 1/3 of the bulb and leave 2/3 exposed. So I'm just going to go around it like so. Why you want to do that is a lot of times when you bury them too deep, they will rot. You want to have the crown of the plant exposed for sure. If any of the crown is under the soil surface, you have a better chance of rot. So there we go. Our Amaryllis is planted, and because this is a festive plant generally, and 'tis the season, I don't have any with me, but you could decorate the top of the pot with some moss, or I don't know, use your imagination. Just decorate it up. Use some sticks to right now to as the flower spike grows, you can kind of tie it with some ribbon so that the flower spike doesn't fall over. If you're in a low light situation, it is possible that the flower spike will fall over. When you plant these, also keep in mind that you'll want to keep spinning them when the flower spike starts to develop, as the flower spike will grow towards the light. So every day you'll have to turn it at least a quarter turn, and you'll see that it will move each day. Excuse me. And so yeah, anyway, this was the planting of the Amaryllis. I hope you enjoyed this video. There it is in its new home. Today I will buy some moss or something to go around here to make it look really pretty in this pot. And yeah, stay tuned for more updates. Stay tuned for more of this one. I will show you when it starts producing its bloom. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Anyway, join me on Facebook at Plants and Things, What's Growing, or the Plants and Things regular page. It's always a lot of fun going to there. I like to see what everybody's growing. You guys always fascinate me. You guys are so creative. It's amazing. And you've got some beautiful plants. Oh my goodness, I'm so jealous. So anyway, until next time, happy growing. We've got the water reservoir that sits right on the top. And then we have these devices that will disperse the water evenly throughout, as long as it's level. Will disperse the water evenly throughout the system.